2-week hiatus. New studio. I'm going to put it in quote marks. But we are back, sir.
We are.
We are back. The CouchSide Network is back with the CouchSide Sports Report, hosted by the CouchSide Network. Myself, Dylan. This is Simon. We're on a new couch, new house, new studio. We're a hell of a lot closer than we've ever been before.
We're just freeloading off a different house this time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But we are back after a 2-week hiatus.
Yes, we are.
Of you being very busy with work.
Oh, and you being just as busy with work.
Yes, and both no at the same time.
I think it's not even just work. We've both had very, very, very busy lives.
Yeah, true.
Not just work,
True.
Out of work, just hanging out with friends, trying to get on top of chores, on our lives.
True. Speaking of lives, exciting news for both of us.
Yes.
Which I don't think was a thing we said, maybe we did in the last one, but we're in a 5-a-side football team.
Oh, we are. And
we are.
We are. Well, it's been pretty good. Haven't won a match yet, but we'll get there eventually.
Hey, you've scored a goal.
I've scored more than just the one goal.
Exactly.
I didn't
That's
score
what
last week, but we've got a game tomorrow.
That we do.
So hopefully, we just improve as a team as always.
Yeah, hopefully we come back next week and say one of us have scored a goal in a game.
Yeah, well,
because the game you scored, we were on our hiatus.
Well, yeah, that is true, but you came very close last week to scoring.
Oh, don't get me started.
Times, so I think it's on you more than me.
This is a good
I've already
point.
scored my goals for the season. So.
I'm like the Zerka of the CouchSide Network.
Right.
I haven't scored yet.
Yeah.
But you have scored.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake, I hate this.
Nah, you're fine. You're fine.
Stupid football. Speaking of stupid football, we are going to be talking about football.
Oh, of course.
We've got Premier League we're talking about, of course. NBA is back, baby.
Of course
Golden
it is.
State is back, getting smacked by 20 by the Blazers, but we did win our first 2 games. We'll talk about that as well. We're going to talk about the All Blacks. They've had their squads announced for both the All Blacks and the All Blacks 15. We're going to talk about that as well as they play in Ireland. They're playing Ireland in Chicago this coming Sunday.
Yes, this week Sunday.
Yes, sir.
9 a.m. kickoff.
We've got heaps to talk about, but first we are back from a 2-week hiatus. So if we are rusty, forgive us.
If I do yawn, I do apologise.
But one thing I will not forget, go and follow us, Spotify. You can search up CouchSide Network on there or CouchSide Sports Report. You can also go follow us, CouchSide Network, on TikTok and Instagram, couchside.network. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment. Don't be rude, but comment anyway.
Yeah.
So without further ado, I say we get into it, mate. I say we get into it.
I think we shall. And if we're just going off the little documentation here, we're going to kick off with a little bit of a preview, a little bit of a rugby union preview.
Yeah, absolutely.
For once, we won't be yapping too much about it, I think, because I think everything we could have said about the All Blacks this season, we've probably said.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the developments since the last podcast to now, there hasn't really been a lot, apart from the squad being announced for the end of year tour, which, newsflash, is the exact same squad. Only a couple of differences.
Yeah.
No bolters, no surprise call-ups, no tough selection decisions. What we all expected.
Yeah.
Well, not really. A lot of people expected more youth and more newer players to be added in.
Very hard by this point, though, right? Like if we really, like I've said, because as we've been away, we see different people talking about it, different comment sections, stuff like that. Especially with the All Black 15, which by this point I feel like is the more exciting squad to talk about because you never know who's going to be in that.
Yeah.
But like with that influx of youth, to be honest, the All Blacks at the moment, you could argue, is a young team anyway.
It is a very young team. Like you look at the props, like the likes of De Groot and Williams are both very young.
Yeah.
Sammy Sonny's not the youngest hooker in the world, but like Elmore is a little bit younger, and then you've got guys like George Bell and Brady McAllister who are pretty young. Even in the locks, obviously, Tupou Vai's still young. Fabian Holland's very young. Lucy's.
I think that was the one change actually in the All Blacks team. Bell made it, McAllister out.
Yeah, was it Bell? Or
Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was Bell. I'm going to double check. Keep talking.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think it was Bell in and McAllister out.
One of the others. But then obviously in the flankers positions, you've obviously got Wallace Satiti carried over from last year.
Yep.
And then you've got Peter Lakai, who's I think younger than him. And then obviously, yeah.
I think they're around the same age anyway.
And then in the backs, obviously, Hotham, very young. Roygaard's still pretty young. Obviously, no young fly halves. That's a bit of a contentious issue. But in terms of the other backline positions, I don't know if there's anyone who's super young apart from Ruben Love, if I'm going to be completely honest.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Most of the people are already well established or over the age of 25. I know Leroy Carter's fairly new, but he's not old by any means.
Yeah,
he's not young by any means. He's 26, 27.
Also to confirm, Bell is in the All Black squad and Brodie McAllister's in the All Black 15.
Yes.
Which is kind of sad for him. He was almost pushed into it. It would be that last South Africa game.
Yeah,
tough.
And it was because there were two other hooker injuries, I think, in front of him, and also a hooker who'd probably do a better job. It wouldn't have been considered because he was leaving in the form of Ricky Riccatelli. You know, but I hope it's not the end for Brodie McAllister because he'll probably bounce back from this. He'll be back up at the Chiefs next year. The Sammy Sonny. He won't have to worry about Bradley Slater behind him because he'll be at the Blues.
Yep.
Probably going head to head with Kurt Eklund.
Who Bradley Slater did make the All Black 15.
Yes, did see that, which is very, very good.
So we'll take that.
But All Blacks 15, a couple of young players, a couple of older guys who've played for the All Blacks and have called them up because they see it as a bit of an extended training group, and this team will be in Europe at the same time. So you see why guys like David Hovely have been called up, and Folau Fakatava have been called up, and like Dalton, I'm pretty sure got called up as well. But then a lot of guys who you know they've been called up for that reason, but you're like, why them specifically? You'd maybe want a younger player, a more inexperienced player.
Are we going to say the obvious?
I think I was just concerned with, I know on their day, the likes of Brandon Eno and Dallas McLeod have been good for the Crusaders, but the fact that neither, I think, are out-and-out starters for the Crusaders. You've selected
especially with Leicester back
and selected in a developmental squad ahead of, and a little bit of bias, but I'll say more than just blue centers. The likes of AJ Lamb. AJ didn't make the team, did he? No,
he didn't.
AJ Lamb,
crazy.
Xavier Tylee, Riley Higgins. You could even argue some of the guys at the Landers. At the did Daniel Rona make the team?
Daniel Rona did make the team.
Make the team.
Thank the Lord, because he played excellent for the Chiefs this year.
But, and I know McLeod and Eno have both played for the All Blacks. I know Eno was, I think when he did play for the All Blacks the first time around, he was seen as quite a big deal, like someone who...
It was a huge injury that stumped his career.
And I get that. But McLeod was always someone who got caught up when no one was really expecting it.
Yeah.
And hasn't got back there yet.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there will be a place for someone like AJ Lamb and Xavier Tylee in the future.
Yeah,
but
true.
And it wasn't, and I know a lot of people also concerned a lot of the Otago guys from NBC didn't get called up to that squad. I think most of it was Dylan Pledger, which we understand he's a very promising young scrum half prospect. But at the end of the day, he is 19. You can kind of understand why he hasn't been named in the All Blacks 15. I think this could have been a second full NPC season. It
would be a very fan pick.
It would be, but it would make sense. Like if they could have brought him over as an apprentice, as long as I'm concerned. I think Artie Savia was probably about the same age when he was an apprentice, many moons ago.
Yeah, but hadn't Artie Savia already played Super Rugby before that point?
He may have, but also he may not have at that point.
Somebody have to fact check that for us.
It was in about 2012 or something, because when Julian was in the squad.
Yeah.
And then Almore was also in the same position. Maybe he had played for the Canes.
I think he had by the point he had. But that's the thing, right? Like I said this to you off camera.
Yeah.
I said, look, I would, those young guys have played awesome, especially in Otago.
Yep.
I know he's played in the All Blacks this year.
Yeah.
Shout out to Christian Leawilli.
Yeah.
Who was in the All Blacks, against France, came out for Simon Parker, who has played fantastic at 6 for us. But shout out to Christian Leawilli taking that on the chest.
Yeah.
Going to back to Otago and playing his butt off.
Yeah.
I hate saying it. I'd love to see Hoskins do the same thing, but he just has not. And Leah Willie went and did that and proved it. Just so you know what, okay, I'm going to take my next opportunity and prove my point, and that's exactly what he did.
As every day goes forward, I feel like Hoskins is more and more likely to move to England.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if
there's reports of it coming out now too.
I don't know if he'll play for England per se, but the fact he's eligible for England will make him very enticing to Premiership teams. I know they'd love someone who's played for the All Blacks before.
Yeah.
Tom Christie is another Lucy who's just gone over there with the
Yeah.
not the new, but the recently rebranded Newcastle team. So
Red Bull taking over again.
yeah, let's see how far we do, how far they go. But in terms of the All Blacks, first game of the Northern Tour. It's a Grand Slam technically, even though the first game is in Chicago. I reckon it should be considered a Grand Slam. It's an away game for us.
Yeah.
It's on neutral territory. There's going to be a lot of Irish fans in Chicago. We've lost to Ireland and Chicago there before. So
Yeah, true.
we play Ireland there the Sunday at 9 o'clock, and then we take on the likes of England, Scotland, and Wales later on. The Wales test probably the more experimental game that you'd have to say
Just with how they're playing at the moment, which I do hope they figure it out. But.
Yeah, I think they recently announced that they're moving to a free region system there, which I think has pissed off a lot of people because, of course, it would if you're downsizing. England will probably be annoyingly a tough game, and Scotland. Who knows? Scotland on paper.
Is it at Murrayfield?
Yeah, we'll be at Murrayfield.
Oh my goodness! Look at hopefully our streak carries on there.
Yeah, our streak, which winning test at Murrayfield, which has existed since 1905. Crazy than the Eden Park one. But if we look into this Ireland game at Chicago, I'm not expecting. I think no one at this stage is expecting something completely different.
I think
we're going to see if he's fit. Bowden's playing at 10. The only, I think, points of contention, I think, is like who's going to start on the wing. I think we're going to see Geordie and Tupai in midfield in some combination. Jordan at 15. It's just two players on the wings. There's, I think, you'd probably say 3 guys who are probably likely to play on the wing. It's either Leroy Carter, it's either Caleb Clark, or it's Lestafine Onuku. It will be one of the 3. And apart from that, I think every other position picks itself. I still think we see Parker Savia and probably Satiti. Maybe we see Lakai again. Maybe we see Kedifi again.
You'll see one of Satiti or Lakai. You could swap those two with bench 8, starting 8, pretty much. You're going to see both of them.
Yeah. In terms of the locks, it will be probably Barrett next to Vai with Holland coming off, especially with Toi Pelotu out for the rest of the season and probably into part of Super Rugby.
Actually, we completely forgot. Vai's out for the season.
Oh shit! No, Tupou Vai is out for the season.
Out for the season. I think it was a meniscus, so knee.
We will see a Barrett Holland starting lineup
with Derry.
Hopefully Derry, because Lord was called up before him in the squad. That was the only other change.
If it happens again, look, Josh Lord, you're probably a great person, mate. But
we will be.
Don't. Anyway, besides the point.
Yeah, I think Sam Derry, how he's played in NPC as well for Canterbury, I think kind of proves. He should be in that conversation. He should be in that position now, considering 2 of the starting locks have gone down.
Yeah, exactly.
Or starting quality locks have gone down with injuries.
Which, by the way, congratulations to Canterbury.
For winning the NPC.
No, I mean, that's a bit dramatic
fair enough.
For me.
They sold out their stadium, which they should be doing anyway. So good on you. It was a shame Otago couldn't win it because they would have been a bit of the Cinderella story, coming in second, comfortably one of the best teams in the league. Yeah. And they packed out as much as they could their stadium for their semi.
Yeah.
But, I think we see Derry, a bit of Derry, or maybe we might actually see a bit of Luke Jacobson because he's in the squad, if I'm not mistaken.
He hasn't really played.
He hasn't played, I think, a single All Blacks game. He was supposed to play, and then he had that head knock in the final Super Rugby where he got knocked so hard out.
That look is still very vivid in my head.
Yeah, that's still etched into my mind, the face he pulled when he got knocked out.
Crazy.
And I think it must have been another injury popped up, but I assume we will see him at some stage. Maybe not against Ireland, but maybe later on. Maybe he comes off the bench against Scotland. I'd be very confident in saying he'd start against Wales because I think there's still a role for Luke Jacobson in the All Blacks because he can cover all 3 positions. He's a big body. He's been a part of a very good Chiefs team. Yes, they can't win finals, but that's not on one.
That's not on one person.
No. And I think whenever he has played for the All Blacks, he has looked good. It's just unfortunately a lot like Ethan Blackadder. injuries, unfortunately, have not been able to,
and
go away.
also you could technically say you've got a guy that's quite a bit younger that can play 6, 7, 8.
And
Lakai.
Although I think at 6 he's a little bit more inexperienced. He's also not as big.
Yes.
But I think you still pester with Jacobson for now.
Yep.
If another loose forward does go down, I'd like to see Dalton come up from the 15, get another shot like he did earlier in the year and didn't look too bad. He's been playing a lot of 6 for counties. That could be...
He's been playing a lot of 8 for counties as
well. That could be him.
Actually, everything. He's played everything, but apart from number 7.
Which I honestly feel like might be a good thing for his All Black stocks because I think they may have looked at him as like primarily a 7, maybe kind of similar to Kiddiffy, not as one-dimensional. I'm not saying Kiddiffy's a one-dimensional player, just in terms of the positions he covers. But Dalton was always able to play 6 and 8. He just didn't play it often. So you have him as an option and Simon Parker as an option. And then you've got Lakai as an option who can do 7, 8 and a little bit of 6. Jacobson who can do 6, 7, 8. You've got Savia who can do 7 and 8. Satiti who can do 6 and 8. Like, that's really good. Like, that's...
Versatility, yes, very good.
A lot of good versatility, a lot of good options, a lot of options for us to choose and have a bit of logjam and figuring out who's going to play in those positions. But I'm expecting us to just name the team, probably in vain the same team we played against Australia, against Ireland, just with if there are better players available, you play with better players. All I want to see, I want us to, remain disciplined. I want to see us doing better under the high ball.
Yeah.
I just want us to, not make stupid mistakes. And also, I don't want to see Ruben Love come on as a winger. I want to see him come on as either a fullback or a 10.
Yes.
If we're going to have him on the bench, because I don't think it's beneficial for him or for the All Blacks to bring him on the wing where he's never really played that at any level.
Do you know the one thing I want to see?
What?
I want to see the coaching adjustments we make. Because now we've lost another attacking coach.
Well, he's going at the end of the year. He's not gone yet.
But still, I'm sensing something here. You have Leon McDonald go.
Yeah.
You had Jason Holland go. You've got to figure something out there. I personally think in the year tour, you've got to figure it out.
All I'm going to say is welcome back, Joe Schmidt 2026. But
if he wants to come back.
I think I don't know if he'll have a job lined up. I think he'll be very happy to.
I mean, let's be real here, but I know people like bring Jamie Joseph in, who, to be fair, has lined it up.
Well, he's with the 15s, isn't he? So I think he's probably
the head coach of the 15s.
I wouldn't be surprised if both Jamie and Joe are in the coaching staff.
People are trying to throw Tony Brown out there as well. He's not leaving South Africa yet.
I don't think he'll leave him this World Cup cycle. I think he's probably indebted himself to Rassie and everyone.
I mean, I don't blame him. Look what he's done to their attack.
Yeah, he's masterminded how good South Africa have been this year.
Yeah.
And it will be really interesting to see how that sustains. Yeah. And we haven't got this written down here, but I thought we'd just go over quickly miscellaneous rugby stuff that we haven't talked about. A couple of Super Rugby signings and departures.
Yep. Let's go.
Which have happened. I'm trying to remember all of them off the top of my head, like an expert I am.
A first one for the Blues. Let's go.
Well, there's been a couple. So these guys are part of the new... So they announced that they're bidding the U20 Super Rugby competition, replacing it with a developmental comp, essentially. They will be made up of players who don't play in any games or members of your wider training squad, which has been extended to 12 players.
Yes.
These guys can't play unless a player in the same position has been injured. We've managed to sign 2 really talented guys from Canterbury, Eli Unduran and James Cameron. Unduran played hooker at the this year's U20 World Champs. A lot of people really happy with that. And then James Cameron, I think, is the centre. So really good to get 2 of those guys in. And they'll be very good as wider training guys and probably first team guys going into the future. But also the Blues have brought over probably the best inside centre in club rugby in the past 5 years.
You could argue that.
Well, I think most people, the people who pay attention to European rugby, not me personally, but the people who do, they do say that. Peter Aki is coming back from 8 years in France, I believe, where he was sensational. He never really got...
Played for Toulon, eh?
I believe so. Yeah. One of the ones starts with 2. It's Toulon or Toulouse. I always get them mixed up. They both play in red and black as well. You're going to check.
If you're French and listening to this... I'm so sorry, we don't know, but I'm going to double.
He's going to double check. But Peter Aki, I don't know if he's born and raised in Auckland, but he was raised in the 09, came through at the Blues, didn't really get a look in, went over to France where he was sensational. He is 34 now, but the fact he's been in France, he'll probably be playing like he's 5 years younger.
Did not know he was
He's from
only 5'11". According to Wikipedia, he is Toulouse.
Yeah.
Toulouse.
So he'll come back and he'll add a raft of experience to the centre position. He is a centre and he's primarily an inside centre, I think I remember. So
he's a big guy. We're talking 5'11", 101 kg. Like,
so
tough.
This will see either Lamb play at 13 or obviously Taeli play at 13 and Lamb play on the wing with Caleb Clark, which I'm not super against in this situation.
No.
Aki, it's a very Bryce Heem-esque signing. He was
Yeah.
supposed to play this year, but he got injured. I think he was even supposed to play next year, but he called it a day, which fair enough. But no, I think
Could he do something? We'll see.
Peter Aki, absolutely. I think he could. He played for Samoa at the last World Cup.
Do you play for Samoa or Tonga?
Samoa.
Oh, okay.
Samoa, pretty sure. No,
it's Tonga.
Was it Tonga?
Yeah, he represents Tonga at international level.
Sorry, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry.
After the rugby league game they had, which we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I think
that's tough.
I was thinking of a story. A friend of the podcast told us, who lives in Bristol, who bumped into Stephen Luatua. He plays for Samoa.
Yes.
And I got those two mixed up. Yeah, Peter Aki played for Tonga at the last World Cup. So I don't really think this is a case of, you'll come back to New Zealand and make the All Blacks. Because unfortunately he's 34. But I think he could do a job in Super Rugby. It's a much needed backfield acquisition for the Blues.
Yep.
In terms of the other teams, I'm just trying to think if anyone signed anyone ridiculous. I know the Crusaders signed someone from the Sevens circuit. I forgot who. Obviously Josh Jacobs joined the Highlanders for 2027 onwards.
Yeah.
I think we knew that before last time.
So just let me clarify on that. So Josh Jacobs still going to play for the Chiefs
next year, and then he's moving to the Highlanders. But I think that they'll try to get him there earlier. I reckon.
Yeah.
I reckon they'll land.
Because here's the point, and I've said this to you, like the Chiefs clearly love playing D-Mac at 10, who at Super Rugby level was elite, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I would rather see him at 15 and Jacob at 10, personally, because I think every fan knows we need some young 10s around here. Josh Jacob has dominated NPC level, you could argue now for the last couple of years, for the last few years. And then, he's showing signs at Super Rugby level at 10, but he just needs to make that little bit extra jump. I think it's very similar to Dylan Pledger, who played fantastic for Otago, and he's younger, he's 19, insane. We are sorted at halfback, but he's got to make a pass for Lau Whakatava at the Highlanders and go from there. But yeah.
Well, I think that's what have I got?
I thought you were getting the signing up or something.
No. I was looking up something else for the next part of this.
Let's go on to the next part, mate.
Well, we've got the Pacific Championship coming up, but before that, I just want to comment. I don't think we mentioned the NRL final. Brisbane Broncos getting the dub. Reece Walsh, what a performance from him.
Insane.
Beating the Melbourne Storm. It's always good when the Storm lose. So we'll take that. The Pacific Championship is going on. But before that, the NRLW, I think the New Zealand Warriors are going to win the comp next year.
Yes, after the signing we made.
Well, I think we haven't mentioned any of the signings we've made.
No.
So, first of all, Broncos decimated the team who've won it. We've brought in 3 players: Gail Broaden, Mele Hufanga, and Aneta Nuasala. And on top of that,
another former Bronco, I'm pretty sure.
Another former Bronco and a former Black Fern, who's a sensational player, Stacey Walker. So
we are getting the New Zealand Avengers.
So and that's to add to players we already have, like Appy Nichols, Patricia Meliepo, who's the one who just puts up those massive hits every game?
That is, you know what? I know who you're talking about. I forgot her name, but we have some young people on the team.
Your alarm's going off mid podcast, bro.
Yes. Do you know what the alarm's for?
What?
to record the podcast.
Oh, well, it's a bit late now, but that team's going to be sensational next
Let's
year.
Let's hope.
It will be. But the Pacific Championships.
Yeah. Hufanga, can I just say, Mele Hufanga's try, I was actually at work when the Kiwis played Samoa. And she pulls off, the Samoa tries to grab a kick, it bounces right to her. I'm like, oh no. Have we trapped ourselves? No. She finds a gap, and like, Hufanga's not the smallest person in the world, finds a gap like a little winger, and just storms it to the line.
But this is like...
Got me very excited.
Someone who's built almost like a prop.
Literally.
I'd be shitting myself on the field if I had the Mark Mele. But the Pacific Championships is here. The Kiwis did get a win. What do they call them? The women's Kiwis.
Yes. I don't think they have a name yet.
Do they?
I don't think they do.
No, they're not the Kiwi Ferns, are they? They might be the Kiwi Ferns.
I haven't heard them be called the Kiwi Ferns yet.
But they got a comeback win over Samoa. Don't have the score here. The Kiwis also beat Samoa in a pretty close game. I bet Samoan team obviously has the likes of Jerome Loy, Payne Haas, Brian To'o, would have Stephen Crichton if he wasn't injured.
Yep.
They have like Jazz Tavanga, they have Tango, they have Talagi, and just a lot of very quality players.
But speaking of Crichton, there's a reason why Crichton got Penrith got him out of there, and that's because of Casey fucking McLean.
Casey McLean for the Kiwis, only 19.
Crazy.
I don't think Crichton left because of Casey McLean. He only came into the fold last year. I think Crichton's been gone for a little bit now. But Crichton left for the big money at the Bulldogs.
Yeah, fair.
Obviously. I think he would have stayed at the Panthers because obviously he got along with everyone.
Panthers crazy talent.
But the Kiwis,
honestly.
Casey McLean is one for the future. Someone who was born and raised in Australia and just happened to be the son of a former Kiwi. We'll take that. But yeah,
big facts.
Sensational from him. The Kiwis able to stay in that game. And then yesterday,
Speaking of sensational,
Samoa versus Tonga, and Samoa got the one 32-6 in Brisbane. 32-4.
That was 34-6.
34-6.
There we go. Doesn't matter. 32-4, 34-2, 34-6.
Very, very
Doesn't
similar
matter.
scores. In a lightning delayed game at Suncorp, I think everyone was expecting a lot more from Tonga because they have some great players.
Yes.
But that is a massive one for Samoa in the driver's seat to make the final. If the Kiwis beat Tonga, it will be a rematch of that. That game is this Sunday at 6 p.m. at Eden Park. But Tonga will probably be very motivated, and they'll have a lot of screaming, cheering Auckland fans.
The Pacific Islands have the best fans.
Oh, they do.
The best fans.
And league, like when I went to Kiwis Tonga last year at Mount Smart, which I think that game should always be played at Mount Smart. It was the noise. I'd never heard it before.
Crazy, eh?
The church hymns in the middle of the game in the second half is something I never thought would ever I'd never think of that. And they're just all singing their hearts out beautifully as well. Because they can all sing really well, annoyingly. I can't sing for shit.
Neither can I. That's why we're talking on this.
And it was one of the great... they stormed to like a 24-0 lead. I think we tied it up and they won it right at the death. And that was a sensational game. And it was also very great leaving the ground because thankfully all the fans stayed for like an hour after the game. So when we were walking back to the car, there was no one else walking with us because we were maybe one of maybe 1,000 non-Tongan supporters at the game. And so they're all staying at the ground celebrating. So usually when you leave the game at Mount Smart, like I left the Auckland FC game the other day, there's a lot of people leaving at the same time. There was no one leaving. And when we got out onto the road, there was no traffic where we parked. I was like, this is sensational.
Yeah.
But yes, Kiwis Tonga this Sunday. The Kangaroos are in England at the moment for the Ashes. They smashed them in the first test. Reece Walsh performing amazingly once again. And that's going to be all the rugby league for the rest of the year before we head over to next season.
Yes.
Although it's been suggested.
Can I ask you before we go? Because there'll definitely, if I'm thinking this, I think there'll definitely be people thinking this.
Yeah.
So the Pacific Championships.
Yes.
You've got Samoa, Tonga, New Zealand.
Yep.
But also.
Yes.
Papua New Guinea, Fiji. And is there another team?
The Cook Islands.
The Cook Islands.
So
how does the finals work?
Well, they're Division 2. So I think there's like a promotion game, but then obviously when Australia is available, then there'll be 4 teams in the first. I'm not entirely sure how it works. I think they just freestyle it every year because last year Samoa weren't in it because they were touring England. So it might just be whoever's touring England doesn't compete or whatever, but I don't know. Next year's the Rugby League World Cup though. And Samoa have confirmed that Hammer from the Dolphins will play for them.
Yes,
He confirmed. So that's a big one. But if we move on from, although I was going to say, apparently the NRL wants to expand on the Vegas round even more in 2027, wants to start the season with a global round, with every game played in a different part of the world, which I think is crazy if they pull it off.
Wow.
People are saying like, oh, we have games in London and Dubai. Like, good luck. We'll see if that happens.
Especially in 2 years.
Yeah, well, I think the Vegas games has been, it's probably been a success for the NRL, even if
It's got to have been if they're considering that.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens there. As we move on to the A-League, which is kicked off, and this will be kind of brief, even though I watched both Auckland games.
I was about to say, you went to the Auckland game?
I did go to one of them. So the season started off 2 weeks ago. Auckland FC kicked it off with a 0-all away draw to Melbourne victory. Not a lot happened in that game. But then at home on Saturday, a 1-0 win over the Western Sydney Wanderers. They had a few former Wellington Phoenix guys on the team. Kostas Barbarouses, Bozadar Kraev. No Juan Mata anymore. They have Brandon Borrello, Lawrence Thomas, a whole bunch of randoms. But Auckland, down a couple of players from last year. No Nader Moreno, no Max Smarter, no Alex Paulson, no... Can't remember.
I think Louis Toomey's not there anymore.
Sorry, Louis Toomey's gone. But they have brought in Lachlan Brook. They've brought in
Sam Cosgrove
from England, and I think they've brought in a couple of other players.
Who's the centre back?
Jake Goodwood-Reich.
There we go.
Who's Aussie. And they also brought in Ollie Sale to be the backup keeper.
Yes.
But a 1-0 win, thanks to a brilliant Jesse Randall goal. He was sensational on the wing. I think he needs to play there going forward. Fortunately, we haven't got the best of Sam Cosgrove the first two games. But the thing is, these are strikers. They often take a while to adapt to the A-League. So hopefully we'll see him banging goals very soon. And the Wellington Phoenix also having the exact same record to start the season. They went 2-0 down to Perth in the first game of the season in Perth, but bounced back with a 2-2 draw. And then they scored a 96th minute winner to beat Brisbane at home 2-1 on the weekend, thanks to Carlo Armiento, who's a former Brisbane Roar player himself. So both good starts for the Knicks. The Knicks maybe having talent ID'd a little bit better than Auckland FC so far, but they usually are very good at talent IDing players. Their new centre back, I know his last name's James, from Canada. He looks to play the part, looks to be better than Woden, who they lost to Perth. But Auckland host Adelaide this Saturday at 5 p.m. at Mount Smart. Wellington are away to the Central Coast on Sunday at 7 p.m.
We do like seeing, and I've said this before, as Kiwis, if we want football to win, we really need Auckland and Wellington to be good. Oh, yeah. And hopefully this carries on. We might have I'd love for it. If we got an Auckland-Wellington 1-2 finish, of course. Auckland on top.
I just like both of us in the finals, you know.
Big fans.
And potentially us
awesome.
facing each other in the finals. I think that would be talked about for years.
Yeah, especially, it'd be huge here. Huge.
Oh, it'd be amazing. As we move on to the Silver Ferns, who had their first real tests of the season, their toughs with the whole Noel drama.
With the Nolene Taurua going on.
Drama, kind of, she will be back, I think we've heard. So she's not going away, which I think is
Thank goodness.
I think that's the answer most people wanted to hear. But the Aussies and the Kiwis are going at it in the Constellation Cup. The first two games were two very heavy losses for the Silver Ferns, 52-69 and 51-68.
Both of those, though, we were in it until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, always seem, like that Australian team, I think, are so much better. They can, and it's in so many sports, they can just turn it up right at the end.
Crazy, eh?
They have that extra gear that you get when you're the best team in the world, when you are the team in charge. But the third test, thankfully for the Silver Ferns, was a 61-52 win in Hamilton, and they have the possibility to draw the series on Wednesday at 7:40 p.m.
Is it not just 3 games?
It's 4. The Constellation Cup's always been 4.
Never knew that.
Yeah, from what I've remembered. So a big chance for the Silver Ferns to level the series. Would be a good achievement because Australia are good. Next Cricket World Cup will be in 2027 from memory. And apart from that, the Silver Ferns will end off the year with a tour in the UK, 5 tests, 2 against Scotland and 3 against England. As we move on to Dylan's Cup of Tea, the ANBL.
Yep, but do you know whose not cup of tea it is?
Who?
The Breakers, right?
Yeah, not great for the New Zealand Breakers to start the season, but I'll let you go over these results before we move over to our international sports.
Yes, sir. So, the Cairns Taipans played the Perth Wildcats at home and got hammered, 110 to 78, and then the Breakers. The Breakers. Up huge at halftime. Sam Meninga scores 25 points in the first half, and they lose to Brisbane by 1. There's going to be some answering to do. Your favourite team, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
Don't even put those words in my mouth. You know better.
They get the win against the Sydney Kings, 112.
I'd much rather support North Korea in basketball than support the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Thank you very much.
Quote that. No. That's going to get clipped.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But in the next game, I can't even concentrate anymore. The Cairns Taipans week just gets worse. They lose to your second favourite team, Melbourne United, 94 to 67 at home again.
God.
Guys,
get it together.
We've got to get some shit out there.
You're like the only professional sports team in Cairns, and you have one of the best names in all of Australian sports, and you're losing to the two teams from the self-claimed sporting capital of the world, which, to be fair, it has a claim. But the two worst team names in the league, probably in the whole country.
Yeah, it's pretty rough out here. But I think they're still above the Breakers, which is crazy. The Bullets did lose to your favourite team, the Southeast Melbourne Phoenix.
Stop it.
109 to 86. Brisbane was at home. And then in a close game, the Wildcats go down to the Hawks, 85 to 84. Another close game, 1-pointer. Your second favourite team, Melbourne United, beat the Adelaide 36ers, 81 to 80.
I don't like this running joke, Dylan.
And then another close game, another 1-pointer. Tasmania at the Horn take it against the Sydney Kings, 90 to 89.
And that's what the Kings get for ripping off the name of one NBA team, but ripping off the identity of a different NBA team. Make it make sense. Are you the Lakers or the Kings? Do you want to be from LA or Sacramento or from Sydney, where you're actually from?
To be fair, LA Kings are an ice hockey team, NHL.
Oh, true, but they play in black, don't they, Dylan?
They do,
not in
black
purple,
and white.
not in purple and gold. I could say the same thing for the former Hutt Valley Lakers from back in the day.
Before we move on from the ANBL, I think Cop's got to go. The start of this season. I think we've played 7 games, won 2.
Yeah.
I think we have too much talent. I think we should hold ourselves to a higher standard. And he may do really well somewhere else, and I hope he does. And I wish him the best. But I think he's got to go.
Yeah,
I think it's time.
I think maybe because we've built the team so much around being owned by Kiwis again and being very much New Zealand focused. I think the logical decision now will be to bring in one of those Kiwi coaches we've talked about previously.
Yeah.
It would be a million different candidates you could bring in who would probably at least be able to steady the ship a bit more, who've worked their way to this, not just to hire because they're in local or whatever. They've definitely... Because Kiwi coaches would have came through the NZNBL and gone to the Aussie NBL, and they have.
Yeah.
There's the guy who went from the Tuatara, where he ended up.
Are you talking about the coach?
Yeah.
Are you talking about
the young guy?
Yeah. He's an assistant in Perth.
Yeah. See, it's a pathway which it makes it's not like a reach or anything.
Yes.
So
exactly.
I fully expect or an Aussie to get the gig. A Kiwi Aussie, like we had Andre Lemanis back in the day, who Aussie, but my God, I didn't give a shit.
No.
Like the fact he left the Breakers to go and to coach the Boomers was massive. Like, of course we weren't convincing him.
Yeah.
Because he was going to go coach Australia.
Was it? And also I think one of the Breakers' first coaches was Tab Baldwin.
Oh, yeah.
Who's a Kiwi.
Oh, yes.
I think is currently coaching in the Philippines.
Oh, yeah.
Or Japan. I think there's got to be a change there. I'm sorry. I wish, I'd hate coming on here and being like, coach has got to go. Because I think fans do that way too early. But at this point, in a game that I know fairly well in basketball, I think there's got to be a change there.
Yeah, and you're probably not the only person saying it as well, unfortunately, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens.
It will be interesting.
See what direction the Breakers decide to take as we move over to the international sport.
Yes, sir.
And there's been a lot in the Premier League. And just in football, different. Ange Postecoglou's already been sacked from Nottingham Forest. Didn't take long. Unfortunately, was not the right fit. Sean Dyche has replaced him. Graham Potter's also left West Ham and been replaced by Nuno. So the last week of results. Leeds beating West Ham 2-1. Chelsea losing very late at home to Sunderland 2-1. They're in a Champions League spot right now. Who's playing a Sunderland career mode right
Facts.
now? Turn up the difficulty, please.
Was it, though, they had that documentary on Netflix?
Oh, the one, when it was, the first season was when they'd already been relegated to the Championship and they got relegated to League One.
And came back up tough.
And there's a scene from there where they're doing a scouting report and they're like deep in the doldrums of the Championship. And one of the guys like, oh, we should look at this guy's really good. It's called Zlatan Ibrahimovic. And the coach is like, are you taking the fucking piss? You're telling me to sign Zlatan? I think he would have been at United at that point.
Yeah, he would have.
Or moving to LA.
Good on them. They're second at the moment. I double-checked that as well.
But Newcastle, 2-1 win over Fulham. Man United, 3 league games in a row. Can the guy who hasn't shaved his head in almost a year until Man United win 5 league games in a row actually get to shave his hair in the next couple of weeks?
Hey.
We'll see. They beat Brighton 4-2. Have looked very good since Lehmann's started in goal.
Yes.
United also beat Liverpool last week. We didn't cover that. So
I hate what I've come on here and said about Liverpool. I've got friends that are fans of Liverpool.
I said the same thing. We'll see how the rest of the season goes, but it has not been a good run of fixtures for Liverpool, as they've lost 3-2 to Brentford, which is, not great for them, good for Brentford. Yeah. Arsenal, tight 1-0 win over Crystal Palace. They're looking like probably one of, if not the team to beat so far this season. They'll be clamouring for a Premier League title, their first since the Invincibles in 2004.
Yep.
Aston Villa doing Arsenal a massive favour by beating Man City 1-0. Love to see it. Bournemouth 2-0 win over Forest. Burnley a 3-2 win over Wolves away from home. And just today, Spurs a big 3-0 win over Everton at home.
You could actually see the 3 teams that came up actually stay in the Prem.
I would love to see that. I think because it's been 2 seasons in a row where the promoted teams have gone straight back down, and we've seen some really cool teams
Has
come
it
up.
been 2 or 3 seasons in a row?
2. I think it's been 2. I think the season before you had like Fulham or something who's still there, or Forest.
Yes, yeah.
So, I like Leeds, a win over West Ham, who have not been good, but still good win. Burnley getting a win again over a Wolves team who hasn't been great. And then the other team we got
Sunderland.
Sunderland, who are top 5. Sorry, I'm trying not to sneeze.
Yeah. No, you're good. Whoa!
There we go.
No. Do they?
Ric Flair.
The big thing about Sunderland, I know they said this about Leicester, Notts Forest last year. Who need to get rid of this Greek guy. Then, it's Christmas. Christmas is always the lineup.
Yeah, it's the hump.
Yeah, so it's like, can Sunderland stay in that top 4 by Christmas?
Yeah.
Maybe we see them stay around, the European spot at least.
They'll drop off, but I think if they can finish the bottom of the top 10, then it's a success.
Yeah,
Either
absolutely.
Way. Granit Xhaka's came in and he's playing, but Sunderland fans are saying he's the best player we've ever seen in a Sunderland shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
How good he's been. I think he's a player who, you can see why he left Arsenal and he went to Leverkusen and won the league there. But him coming back to the Premier League being Sunderland, I always thought that seems like a good deal because he hadn't degraded.
And as a Leverkusen fan, in Leverkusen he was great. He was a solid anchor, and this was Xabi Alonso's system where they play the I think it was a 3-4-2-1.
Yeah.
Where the wing backs, Frimpong at Liverpool, though he's been injured, was insane. Grimaldo's still there. He's been insane. But you needed 2 central midfielders that really held the ground. And Granit Xhaka did that perfectly.
Absolutely
in the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Again.
And he's doing it perfectly in the Premier League.
Yeah.
As we move over, although today El Clasico was this morning, Real Madrid got the win 2-1, probably the first time they've won an El Clasico in a very long time. The World Series is on at the moment. I'm actually watching baseball at the moment because
look what Ohtani is doing, bro.
Well, I've decided that I'm finally, and I've always probably said that probably the team I support. I'm definitely a Blue Jays fan now, and it just happens to be that they're in the World Series.
You're a Canada type of guy. Raptors,
I am. I already
Blue
support
Jays.
the Raptors, so I feel like I have an excuse, and I genuinely think that my NHL team is probably the Maple Leafs. Because I do want to have an NHL team, even if I don't follow the sport. Although whatever, the Oilers are always kind of a cool team, but I'm not going to throw my eggs in one basket just yet. But it's been 2 games, both played in Toronto, and it's tied 1-1 at the moment. The Blue Jays had a massive first game, got a massive win. I think in one innings they scored like 6 runs or 9 runs. I was at the football and we saw it on just the amount of runs. We're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then unfortunately the Dodgers played an excellent game too.
Yeah.
Yamamoto was fucking insane.
Yeah.
Just pitching, like no one could get a hit off him.
Japan has baseball talent.
Well, Ohtani.
If you didn't know this already, you know it now.
The likes of Ohtani, Yamamoto, and Sasaki all played the Dodgers. You've had guys come before them, like Ichiro Suzuki was the first like position player to do the job from Japan. But before him, the first player who he actually had to fake retire from the Japanese league to even play in MLB because they weren't allowed to go to MLB was Hideo Nomo.
Yes.
I watched a really good LA Dodgers documentary about him because he joined the Dodgers first of all. But after Suzuki, you've had guys like Yu Darvish and that really funny pitcher who also played for the Blue Jays. Forgot his name.
Well, now you've got a guy from Japan that can do both.
Yeah, and Ohtani, and no player can do that from any country. Except Ohtani, apparently.
Yeah, crazy.
He's scary. And because how it works, for Japanese players to go to MLB, they have to be posted by their Japanese team. And I think they are getting posted younger and younger.
Yes.
Because Sasaki's quite young. I think he's probably one of the youngest Japanese players to make the swap. And I think he had a bit of a rough start, but he's been a great closer for them. Which I don't understand. How many pitches can you use in baseball? I think you can use it.
I think there is an unlimited number.
Because I think you can only use a certain amount like during the regular season, but in the postseason they let you just call up everyone because it's the postseason.
Oh no! So I know there's a time in the season before the playoffs where you can expand your squad.
Yes, because I briefly played this free Baseball Manager game on my computer.
Yes,
and I remember in like September, all of a sudden, your squad there was like 20 pitches available. I was like, oh shit, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, and I think the best part of this World Series has been watching the coverage of the World Series. Mostly David Ortiz yelling when the Yankees lose, being a Red Sox legend. In fact, he's doing it next to Alex Rodriguez and Derek Jeter, who both played a lot at Jeter only played at the Yankees.
Yeah, good on him.
Also, there's a rapid fire question: should Alex Rodriguez be in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Because of the roids?
Absolutely.
Yeah, fair.
And look, and there's been an argument for Barry Bonds because what people are saying is Barry Bonds had a Hall of Fame career even before he took the roids. Which is, yes,
but
true.
Isn't that the same case for A-Rod, though?
No, not really.
Not really?
To me personally, I know this is probably going to seem a bit ruthless for fans, and I do get it. But if you're taking a performance-enhancing drug, I don't care what time it is, you're not a Hall of Famer to me.
Yeah. Except it's the UFC because the heavyweights used to live off that shit before they actually started testing them.
Very good point.
But
very good point.
We move on from the World Series, and it's that time of year. Let's go.
The
NBA is back, and I genuinely think we're in for an all-timer season.
We very much are.
I think we've got a very great rookie class who's just came in. The first major change in TV deal in years.
Yes.
NBA on TNT is completely gone. It doesn't mean a lot to us because every game... Well, actually, no. Every game is not on ESPN anymore because of the change to this deal.
Yes.
In America, NBC has NBA rights for the first time in about 30 years.
Yep.
Any highlights synonymous with Michael Jordan or Michael Jordan playing basketball, all synonymous with NBA on NBC. So they were very happy to get the rights back, put so much effort into it, as were Amazon Prime. I've seen clips of their coverage. Like they had an interactive court and they got the players like their analysts, like I think Udonis Haslem is one of them.
Yes.
Like, making up the players on the court in the studio. ESPN wasn't doing any of that with their games because
I think they had to do that. I think so many people were pissed
at ESPN
that Turner or TNT lost that. They had to bring something different.
I think they're always going to bring it. Yeah. They're always going to bring it.
It's streaming. It's where the world is going. You have to.
And I believe the Amazon Prime games are also being aired here because I tried to find them on ESPN because they were on Saturday and they just weren't on ESPN. I was like, you're telling me the Amazon Prime games in America are also on Amazon Prime in New Zealand? great.
Yeah, exactly.
But
yeah.
I mean, but it's great. The NBC coverage is awesome. The Amazon coverage is awesome, and the ESPN, they now are leasing, well, essentially renting, inside the NBA from TNT. So it's still being broadcasted at TNT Studios by TNT, but it's been made for ESPN.
Yes, yeah. I mean, thank God, because Shaq, Kenny, Chuck,
I know.
Ernie, so goated. How can you get rid of them?
I know there are some concerns with those players and some of the things they do talk about the modern game, but I think they're still such an invaluable part of the NBA broadcast and a part of the NBA, and you have more contemporary, modern people, more modern takes on the game on the other coverage, on your actual ESPN, NBC, Amazon Prime coverage.
Yeah, true.
But I think, and also this NBA season, players are just playing at a much higher level to start everything off.
This is the most even I've seen the NBA. I think in my life, to be honest.
It's even, but some of these players are putting up stat lines I couldn't believe. Like Luka Doncic, I think I don't know if you want to do a little bit of a thing after this, but I am gonna go on a limb right here and say that Luka wins his first MVP this season. I'm not the only person saying this, but I think he wins it. I think if he doesn't win it, it's Shea winning it again. I think Luka wins MVP. I think he's going to be the absolute star in that Lakers team. And the fact he is the star of the Lakers team with LeBron, I think that, that's an MVP level player. He has been for years.
You're right.
He's going to carry that Lakers team kicking and screaming, I think.
Yeah, because
and LeBron will as well, no doubt.
When I watched the Lakers in the first game against the Warriors, like if the Lakers didn't have like Luka and LeBron at the moment, they would probably be an outside
a play-in team.
A 10 seed team.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Absolutely.
Like it's just, and I know it's very early in the season, but you never know what could happen. There is actually going to be quite a few MVP candidates. The one thing I think we can guarantee, since 2018, James Harden won in 2018.
Yep.
There has not been a single American MVP that carries on this year.
Yeah. I mean, let's just go over
that carries on this year.
Let's go over every single team. Well, not every, but every even stretch MVP candidate. Because some people say,
let's go.
If he stays 100% fit and is standard, you could argue Steph Curry's up there. Yeah, he's old. But and the Warriors could be a good team, and he might have a good season, but he's probably on more of the outer cusp, obviously.
You could, absolutely. Let's just put before we go into this MVP conversation.
Yes,
let's go the West. There's different reasons why both conferences are quite wide open this year.
Yeah.
The reason I think the East is wide open is because there's some really key injuries there.
The two best teams last season in the East, their best players are injured.
Yeah. Tyrese Halliburton is out with an Achilles. I also think Jason Tatum is out with an Achilles. He's definitely out. But that opens the Eastern Conference.
So opens the gap. Yeah. I still think the West is the Thunders.
The West, I'll be honest with you, is open because of how good every team is.
Yeah.
You could argue, the Thunder probably still have it.
I think the Thunder are probably going to get about 69 wins this season.
I don't think it's going to be that much. I could see it being 60. I don't think it'll be close to 70.
But there's other teams in the West as well who are going and make a case. Luka will bring the Lakers kicking and screaming. The Warriors, they still have a very similar team to last year. They will be very good.
Yep.
Going
straight.
Going over every other team. The Clippers always seem to just be... They'll make the playoffs. I think
the Clippers are going to be a playing team this year. I don't think they'll be as good as they were last year.
The Kings will have some good moments, but it's the Kings. The Suns, who knows? I don't know if they'll...
I think your big teams in the West right now, Thunder, Warriors, Timberwolves, who we haven't mentioned. I need to see more of them play because I won't lie to you. If Steph Curry doesn't get injured in that Timberwolves series, I'm not going to say they win because we saw what happened when he did get injured. But I do think that goes to 7 again. And I do think if it goes to 7, I think the Warriors have a massive chance of winning that.
You'd also have the Nuggets.
I'd have the Nuggets there, absolutely. I mean, Jokic is still scoring triple doubles.
Dare I say you'd have the Rockets?
Yes. Yeah. I think those are your
The Rockets
five.
are definitely the top Texas team.
Yep.
Although
now-
the Spurs,
Oh my, Wemby, bro. What is
Wembanyama,
Wemby is becoming the unicorn that we all thought
he's
he
been
would.
doing this for 2 seasons, but now he's doing stuff that people haven't even done before.
Do you see what he did to Derek Lively, bro?
Oh, what's he done? You know that meme? I don't know if you see it.
Crazy.
It's like on Twitter, and it'll be like when two celebrities have gone in a relationship, and someone will be like, it's people dating who've never dated before.
Yes.
To me, it's like he's doing things that no one's done before.
Not
Like,
that height.
He's 7. Well, he's lying about his height. He's 7'7". Okay, he's 7'7", and he can shoot. I was on a Discord call with my mates, talking to Stanley and Amy, and they don't know too much about basketball, especially Amy, and we were stream sharing Wembanyama highlights from that first game, just pointing out no one should be able to do that when you're 7'7", because people at 7'7" usually can't really walk properly or jump properly.
He can move
or do anything because they're so tall.
Yeah.
How the hell can he do that?
Yeah.
And he's still quite skinny. Yeah, he's obviously beefed up quite a bit.
Yes.
And yeah, he's 7'7", cut him some slack. He can't be fucking 400 pounds, but
no.
it's scary. It's
scary.
And the fact that there's a guy in college basketball right now who's not the same type of player, who's even taller than him, and Oliver Rue. It's like, what the hell is going on now?
With Wemby, I don't know where that athleticism comes from, but it is there and it is in abundance.
In the postseason, he was training with the monks in China, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So, hey, that probably did something to do with it. But he looks, I think he just being crazy is going to help the Spurs get over the hump.
And here's the thing, like, we talk just about the Spurs. We're kind of giving an NBA, let's call this an NBA season preview.
I mean, we have to because we haven't covered it yet.
The Spurs have De'Aaron Fox injured. You have Stefan Castle, who was the Rookie of the Year, I don't think last year, the year before.
No, it was last year.
It was last year.
Yeah.
You've got Dylan Harper coming off the bench, who was their second pick in the draft. And you've got, you still got Keldon Johnson, who's great.
Sochan.
You've got Sohan, so he's so good. And then like you're building depth there.
Yeah.
Now, could they crack that top 5? So our top 5 being Thunder, Rockets, Warriors, Nuggets, Timberwolves. Yes, they could. I still think they're a season away.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still think they're a season away.
I think they
but
might be
you could put them in that logjam.
I think they're like a big free agency acquisition away.
Yes.
I think it'll be a free agent acquisition, not a draft pick acquisition, unless they somehow luck into the top 3 of next year's draft because you have 3 talented players. I think if any team has a pick in the top 3 next year, they're getting one of the Boozer twin, who's the better one. I forgot what one it is.
It's Cameron. So there's Cameron Boozer and Caden Boozer.
Caden Boozer, AJ DeBancer, and then the other guy who's the guard.
Darren Peterson.
So
Darren Peterson at Kansas, AJ DeBancer's at BYU, and then you've got Cam Boozer at Duke.
It's a scary top 3 for next year's draft. We're already talking about next year's draft.
Scary.
It's October. I reckon because he said I just reckon AJ ends up at the Jazz because he's already going to BYU.
They haven't started too bad as well.
He's already gone to BYU. They've already got Ace Bailey, who I think is kind of similar in terms of position or whatnot, but I reckon
a little bit.
The gods will work, and the Mormon gods in this case, and,
is that right?
and AJ DeBancer will go to the Jazz. but you look at the East, I think that's where you can see most of your teams who are probably going to be near the bottom of the lottery, at the top of the lottery, I should say. In the West, I guess you'd say, well, I don't think the Mavericks aren't going to be at the bottom, but if they do end up in the bottom 3.
I would say you've got that top 5 West teams, and then fighting for those playing spots, you have Spurs, Mavericks, Clippers.
Yeah.
And then you'll have... So
you
that would make 8.
You've still got like the Trailblazers, the Pelicans, the Jazz.
Oh, I think the Pelicans need to show me.
Yeah.
But if Zion Williamson can stay healthy, Jordan Poole can be the Jordan Poole he was at Golden State.
Yeah.
I think you see those guys slip into that Spurs, Clippers, Mavericks group. And the Kings, I have to see more from the Kings.
It's kind of tough to say who's going to be the worst team in the West. Though I think in the East it's a bit easier though. But speaking of, you're talking about Dylan Harper being the second pick of the draft. But did the Spurs make the right decision? Because there's one guy who's been picked the position afterwards who is basically telling everyone, maybe you should have looked at me a little bit more in the draft. And that's VJ Edgecombe. of the
man.
Philadelphia 76ers dropped, 34 points in this rookie debut.
Yeah, most was it most points in a debut
By a rookie
Was it
this
the
century.
Crazy.
So an insane debut for him. For the Sixers now, they have this brilliant issue that they have both him, I don't remember who their point guard is.
So you've got Tyrese Maxey,
Sorry,
who's played excellent as
He
well.
scored 40 in another game, or the same game, I think.
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey, VGK Ejim, and then the guy who would have won Rookie of the Year last year if he didn't get injured, Jared McCain. How the hell do you...
McLean, yeah.
How do you work that out? Because obviously Embiid is a shell of his former self.
How tall
They won't be able to trade Embiid.
Well, my phone's on 3%.
I think Edgecombe was someone that you could maybe play at the 3. But I don't...
it was McCain, my bad.
McCain's short. It'd be McCain and Maxey, and then you'd...
So McCain is 6'3". See, now here's the thing, because it's different now, right? Like the NBA is different now.
Yes.
VJ, there we go.
6'5".
He's hungry, bro. He's hungry. You're talking about a guy that grew up poor in the Bahamas.
Yep.
He's shown, and he said he's 6'4", and Tyrese Maxey's about 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
I don't think you could. I think in clutch games, I think you could have those, and end of games, you could have those three. We've seen the Warriors do it with small lineups, but
one of them's gonna
not that small.
Yeah. It's like, do you just try and trade one of them to get Embiid away? Because no one will take Embiid as Embiid right now. He's unfortunately...
Do you want me to be honest with you?
Yeah.
I think the Sixers, if they keep Embiid and as healthy as possible, honestly, could win the East this year.
Really?
I'm throwing that out there. Let's think about it. The Celtics down Jason Tatum.
Yes.
Pacers down Halliburton. Who else do you have in the East?
They're not beating the Knicks and the Cavs.
You do have an, I'm not gonna put it past them, and I'm not gonna put it past, especially the Knicks. I'm not gonna put them past the Knicks. I think the
Knicks and the Cavs are currently my top two.
I think
they're my top two in the East.
Are a smart top 2 pick for the East, but I think the 76ers, if VJ Edgecombe stays on this and Embiid stays healthy, because. I think saying Joel Embiid's a shell of himself is a little bit off. If you get what I mean. I think that team.
I think it's just because he's
healthy,
been injured. You know, it's just the injuries.
I get that, but I think if that team stays healthy, and those guys continue to play. Those guys are competing with the Knicks and Cavs, and
absolutely.
And I honestly do think you could see them.
But keep in mind,
regular season beat those teams.
The Pacers are still hungry without Tyrese. The Celtics, although they've started 0-3, I think they'll come right without Tatum. You still got the Detroit Pistons, who are still a very good team.
Yes, absolutely.
You've got the Orlando Magic, who I still think are a very good team on paper.
Yeah.
Although everyone has now seemingly turned on Paolo Banchero and calling him the worst number 1 pick of all time, which is ridiculous because he's been an all-star, right? Or he's been close.
Yeah, he's been an all-star. That's ridiculous.
Sorry, do you not remember who was taken number 1 in 2013? And the Cleveland Cavaliers select Anthony Bennett. Don't give me Paolo Banchero is the worst number 1 pick of all time. He doesn't even crack No, my own Toronto Raptors. Who do we pick? Andrea Bargnani. Who did they pick in 2000? Michael Olowokandi. Was he number 1 pick?
Yeah, he was.
See, that's free. Before Paolo Banchero. I could probably go more recently than those ones. Okay, it's too early to say about Andrew Wiggins. 2015 was Cat. 2016 was... Oh, who was number 1 in 2016?
Ben Simmons.
Okay, yeah, that won't be hard.
Markelle Fultz was also a number 1 pick.
Okay, he's probably better than Markelle Fultz.
Yes, he's definitely he's better than Ben Simmons has been recently.
Okay. Fits 5 because
it's stupid. That is if you were saying that is insane.
Because the other picks after that, you have 2018 was that wasn't
That's
Zion.
Insane. Have people said that?
People say
I'm in the NBA. I'm a basketball guy.
NBA
Twitter.
Heard that. NBA Twitter is nuts.
And
also with there's currently an FBI investigation about match fixing in the NBA.
Yes,
NBA Twitter's having a field day. There was an NBA Centel post, and it was like the Sacramento Kings have asked I think it was like the Sacramento Kings have asked the FBI to open an investigation into Russell Westbrook. The FBI have declined. I was like, come on.
I hope the NBA sorts that out quickly.
Oh, yeah. But
the NBA very recently, as in the 2000s, have been very good at sorting shit like this out quickly.
Well, you'd hope.
2010s.
I mean, I feel like the East also has a lot of teams. I have no idea what's going on. Like, even my Toronto Raptors, I'm like, okay, we're probably going to finish what?
I think your Raptors are young. I think you've got young players there.
We probably need...
If your boy Dick continues to develop...
My guy Dick.
He could be a great player.
Guys, as you know, I do love Dick. So, hey... As we move on,
can we just please get him and Anthony Black on the same team?
Well, we've already done the jersey swap.
Yeah, I know, but we need them on the same team.
I show that photo to all of my friends, and I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But there's heaps of other teams on the East. I just kind of I don't know what to expect from like the Miami Heat. What are you? Are you gonna be a sneak team, or are you going to be a play-in team and just a play-in team?
Yeah.
You have the Charlotte Hornets. Like, you have LaMelo is in his like fucking 5th or 6th year in the league.
I think it was today in the game. Now the Hornets are going to become a team that can score with anybody.
Yeah.
But they're going to need some defense. But LaMelo Ball dropped 38, 13, and 13.
Another triple-double.
For
one of the best players I've seen live.
If he stays, that's a very good point. If he stays healthy and that Hornets team continues to develop, Brandon Miller is a fantastic player.
He's been good.
Second pick 2 years ago, I think.
Making my way up the East in terms of the map.
Yeah.
The Wizards. Okay, the Wizards are the worst team in the East. Let's not even bat around the bush here.
Yeah.
Although, who did they beat?
They
beat the Mavs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
they beat the Mavericks. Who else? The Nets are also not good. The Wizards,
those teams you would
the
probably
Wizards,
say
the Nets are probably your bottom feeders this year. The Celtics, if they're not careful, the Kings, if they don't get up and running. Who are maybe the Trailblazers out east, but they're still a very young team. I think who can grow quite a bit. I really want to see my boy Yang Hansen do really well. I think
your boy.
I really like that. I watched a couple of videos.
I will say Trailblazers and I know they just beat the Warriors by 20 after the Warriors came off of two very games against the Lakers and Nuggets. They went for 8. Those were long games. I will say the Blazers. There's some young guys there that if they develop, they can play.
Oh yeah,
and they'll get Damian Lillard back next year. I don't know what he's going to look like because he's also out with an Achilles. But they've Tumani Kamara. That's a name I hope people will hear for quite a while. He's a very good player. Denny Avdia, since he got to the Trailblazers, has played fantastic. Shaedon Sharp, of course. So they've got some players there. So it's like you said, to me, the West is wide open, but you could break because there's so many teams that have such good players.
I'm going to go on a whim, and I'm going to say the Thunder are going to top the Western Conference in the regular season, and it'll be the Cavs in the East. But I don't know if those two teams find each other
at the exact same time as...
I think it's more even this year, but I think those two teams still rise up based on the conditions of the league. And then who makes the final, it's too early to tell, in my opinion. It also depends who finishes in every other position.
We'll wait for mid-season.
We'll wait for...
you know what? Actually, I'm trying to think, will I be? Yes, I will. If we'll do an episode when the All-Star breaks on.
Oh, yeah.
When the All-Star breaks on, that's when we'll make our prediction.
That's when we...
But you did quickly... I think I'll quickly say in terms of...
we forgot about the Bulls and the Bucks.
Yes, who've also opened great.
The Bees. The Bees in the trees.
Josh Giddey doing it down there at the Bulls.
Of course he is.
But before we move on, I would say, just to throw them out, we won't talk in depth about them, we'll just throw them out there. My top 3 MVP candidates to start the season: Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, and I haven't seen him play well enough yet. So I'm not going to put Anthony Edwards there yet, although I think he'll put himself in the conversation. I'm going to go Giannis, who has played excellent for the Bucks.
So you're not going to put Shane in your top 3?
Not yet, but I do think he could absolutely win it again.
I think it's...
the amount of free throws that guy takes is insane, but I as somebody who has played basketball for years, and people are saying he's a free throw merchant, stop it.
Yeah. It's not...
You go and play and see how hard that actually is to do. So...
Hey, watch MVP go to Wemby. Moving on.
It's another guy. They see. Oh my God, this NBA season going to be mean.
It's going to be
Get
great.
onto the NFL because we could talk about this for hours.
Of course, the NFL's been up and running, and my Minnesota Vikings lost 37-10 to the Chargers. Moving on, the Jets.
No, I can't even laugh. I can't even laugh after what we just watched, which we'll talk about.
The Jets won a game of football.
They did.
They beat the Bengals 39-38. And for those who have good ears, a cat has joined the studio. Come on, go to Dylan.
Loki,
go to Dylan. You guys, if you're watching, you can see the tail now.
Now you can see him.
This
is my girlfriend's cat, by the way. This is Loki.
We have third host, and he's gone. And he's gonna sit right.
And he's gonna sit right here.
He's gonna sit right next to me. As we move on to the NFL, which we already said, the Jets won a game of football, 39-38. The Panthers destroyed by the Bills, 40-9. The Texans beat the Niners, 26-15. He's now smelling my shoes, weak cat. The Eagles beat the Giants, 38-20. And unfortunately, Cam Scatbo's probably out for a while. Took a nasty injury hit.
Yeah, he did.
Probably the best 7-week NFL career we've ever seen. From a running back, the Patriots beat the Browns, 32-12. The Ravens get a must-needed win over the board, 30-16 over the Bears. The Dolphins beat the Falcons 34-10. The Bucks beat the Saints 23-3. The Cowboys lose to the Broncos 44-24. The Colts still look scary, 38-14 over the Titans. And the Steelers, unfortunately, Dylan.
Which we watched this entire game before this recording. Entire game.
They lose 35-25 to the Packers.
They did. Packers played great second half, I won't lie.
And then tomorrow, the Chiefs take on the Commanders, which should be a good game. I don't really have much to talk about here, but we know the Colts are one of the best teams in the NFL.
And who are they playing next week?
The Steelers. But apart from that, the Bills are still looking pretty good. The Lions must have the bye this week. Because they don't have a game here, but I still think they're probably in contention. Poor cat. Yeah, and he's gone.
Later, boat.
He's gone already.
He's going to eat food.
True, that'll be us after this.
Very good point.
But no, yeah, I don't have much to say. I think the season's just going how it was going the last couple of weeks, and hopefully we get in more interesting team with it all.
I need the Steelers to upset the Colts next week, and don't get me started on this game, which we watched before. If you're a Steelers fan, it's the classic 3 problems. It was secondary, so the cornerbacks and the safeties, which Deshaun Elliott, I hope you get better soon. That hyperextended knee was a lot.
Didn't look good.
What else was there? There was the consistency of the offensive line, once again. You could argue the wide receivers are a problem, and I do think the Steelers, who are known to be conservative, have been a little bit less conservative and more aggressive under our new general manager, Omar Khan, the Khan artist. But
banger.
But I do think the Steelers could go and trade for a wide receiver to help out there, because we do have a lot of tight ends. Shouldn't
have let George Pickens go. He's killing it for the Cowboys.
Yeah, he is, but I think he was going to go anyway.
Yeah.
But at the same time as well, it was Mike Tomlin who, with Antonio Brown, said he didn't want any hostages, and I think that George Pickens would have become one.
Yeah.
And then the coordinators. I think it's a coordinator game. The Steelers have not had the best luck in finding good offensive and defensive coordinators. But it's a classic story there. Hopefully it improves against the Colts, because we bloody well need it to. We're going to hold on to this lead, even though every team in the AFC North at the moment has a losing record except for the Steelers.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, should we move on to the last thing, mate?
The last thing's just the F1 Mexican Grand Prix was this morning. In qualifying, Lando Norris qualified on pole, Leclerc second, and Hamilton third.
Yes, sir.
Piastri fell to 8th. Behrman qualified in 10th, and Liam Lawson in 15th. In the race itself, Liam Lawson DNF very early on due to contact with Carlos Sainz. But Lando Norris wins. Sorry, I need to cough. And takes the championship lead off Oscar Piastri. Leclerc managed to finish second, Verstappen third, and Behrman put in a massive shift to finish in 4th. As Oscar Piastri.
RJ, your boys Ferrari.
Yes.
They actually held on to a good result.
No, they did for once. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah. Can you think of anything that we haven't covered?
First of all, and lastly, shout out to Ollie Behrman.
Yeah.
Who finished 4th. I think that's his best race he's had in F1.
I did just say that, you know.
Yeah. And if you hear footsteps, my girlfriend just tried to sneak to get some food and go back.
Not slick. But it's fine.
Fun times. I can't think of any other sport that we can talk about. I loved how in depth we went into the NBA today.
Oh yeah, well we had to.
As a
and
basketball guy.
I think because the NBA season's gripped me as well, we will be going quite in depth to it. And I think the World Series next week as well, where we have more of an idea of who's going to win it. Will the Dodgers go back to back with the Blue Jays win their first series since 1993?
Actually, before we go, let's end it off. One last question.
Oh no!
If you one last question, prediction results: Ireland All Blacks in Chicago on Sunday. Give me a score right now.
All Blacks by 8.
All Blacks by 8. I'm going to have All Blacks by 5.
I'm going to say, because I know Ireland's not the best of a team it once was, and I know
they've been winning though.
They've got injuries as well. They've got unanswered questions. They've got a very they're basically in win now mode, but the players are getting to a point where I don't think they're even in the States to call it a win now mode, because they're not bringing in the younger guys. They're bringing in, just sticking with like the 36-year-old Bundyakis and whatnot. Cool.
True.
Cat did not knock over the tripod there. That's
no,
good.
The cat is back. If you see us looking over here.
The cat in a hat has came to terrorize this podcast. But no, yeah, I think that might be it. And
I think we're good.
And on that bombshell from our temporary new recording location.
Yes. But we are back though.
We are back after 2 weeks. Thank you very much for watching us. And like we say every single time, please like and subscribe everywhere if you haven't already.
True that.
On YouTube, on Spotify, or our other social platforms like Instagram
and TikTok. And go follow us, like Simon said, on Instagram and TikTok to see us talking more smack, more shit, more sport. And it is the CouchSide Network hosting the CouchSide Sports Report. Simon, thank you very much, mate.
Thank you very much for having
me. That was a shocker.
That was
camera. Nah.
No, I got taught the best way to do it is that someone cups their hand and someone has their hand straight.
Yes.
So
I'll go with the cup. You go with the straight. Ready? Ready?
Yep.
Go. No, missed it again.
No, let's you do straight.
Okay, ready?
No.
Hold on. We're almost.
No, wait.
Almost.
Almost.
Come on.
We don't have to dap every single time, you do realise. we could just go away. We could no. Hey, as we say on this podcast every single day. What do we say, Dylan?
Oh man, CouchSide out.
CouchSide out.